Good morning everyone. As I promised in yesterday's video, today's video is going to be how to convert your Neo J weapons into a Neo A weapon. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So as we can see here, I have a Neo A wired lance with a Fixa Fatale level 1, and the main thing about the Neo A weapons are they are not tradable on the personal shop. So these only drop from Darkfall's Aegis, and they're a pain in the butt to get. So more often than not, you're gonna get a high level Fixa on a weapon that you don't actually use. Maybe you have a Fixa Fatale level 4 on twin machine guns or some other weapons that you don't want to use because you don't enjoy playing that specific class. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can actually convert that high level Fixa onto a weapon that you actually want to use. So in my case, I play a Katana Braver. So I want my Neo J Katana to be converted into a Neo A weapon and also retain the high level Fixa over here. Well, in my case, it's just a Fixa Fatale level 1, but nevertheless, it is still a Fixa. So how on earth are we going to do this? We're actually just going to be abusing the multi-weapon system because it just so happens that the Neo A weapons and the Neo J weapons are considered the same weapon series. So you're able to combine the two weapons together as a multi-weapon. However, this is the important part. You need to make sure that the Neo A weapon is the main weapon. So you want to put all of your augments, you want to limit break, you want to fully enhance, unlock its weapon potential. Everything has to be done on the Neo A weapon. And the only thing the Neo J weapon is going to be used for is as a material to multi-weapon with whatever your Neo A weapon is. However, the thing that a lot of people fail to take advantage of is the Neo J weapon can actually be whatever weapon you want. So let's say you have a high level Fixa weapon over here. It doesn't have to be wired lance. Maybe it's like a launcher or rifle or bow or whatever you want. What you can do is you can augment it fully for a katana or whatever weapon that you prefer to use, multi it with a Neo J katana or whatever weapon that you actually want to use, and it's actually going to transform your Neo J weapon into a Neo A weapon and inherit everything that is on the Neo A weapon. So I know some of this stuff might sound a little bit confusing, so I'm just going to showcase it. I'm going to show you step by step on what I'm going to do in order to transfer my Neo J katana into a Neo A katana. So the very first step is we are going to need to come to the item lab over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the item enhancement first because that's the easiest step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be feeding it a bunch of golden prim swords in order to level up its enhancement level. So as we can see here, we're going to get this all the way to plus 28 so far. Let's get it even further, and voila, we got a great success and we managed to get our weapon all the way to plus 50. So we have 5 augment slots. Now remember, you can still limit break your weapon to get it all the way to plus 60. However, since I am on my ship 3 character, I don't actually have any arms refiners 4, so I'm just going to leave it at plus 50 for now. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to unlock the potential of our Neo A weapon. So as you can see over here, there's the 26% potency, so we're going to unlock that. We're going to unlock this all the way until level 4 because that way we take full advantage of all the extra free potency on this weapon. And voila, we have unlocked its weapon potential all the way to level 4. Now is the fun part, and that is adding the augments. So regardless of what Neo A weapon you have over here, what augments you're going to be putting in is going to be based off the actual weapon that you want to use. So my Neo A weapon over here is a wired lance. However, the main thing I'm going to be using is going to be the katana. So what I want to focus on is going to be melee augments since I am geared for melee. As you can see, all of my armor are melee based. However, if you are like my ship 4 Braver and you're using the special ability optimization through the skill tree, you could go full range damage because that's going to convert into melee damage. So it really depends on what weapon you're going to be using as well as your build. So as you can see from my stat sheet, I am mainly focused on melee damage. So I'm going to be building the Neo A weapon with the main focus on melee potency. So after much thought, these are the augments that I have decided to put onto my Neo A weapon. So these are the wired lances, as you can see over here. So I do have an Addy capsule over here. I have the Freed Soul 4, Alt Secreta 4, Death Might, as well as Melra Doable 4. So these are the augments that I have decided to use. So we're going to do confirm, and then we're going to put a 20% booster, which means everything is 100% except for the Alt Secreta 4, which is at a 90%. So we are going to be gambling a little bit, and we're going to hope that the Alt Secreta sticks. So here we go, and yes, confirm. And boom, everything's success, thank goodness, because I couldn't afford to do another one because I'm kind of broke now. As you can see over here, I'm at 1.3 million because I did buy the Addy capsule. Now this Addy capsule wasn't like crazy expensive, but it was still a significant amount. It was like a 1.5 5 million or something. However, as you can see over here, we only have a Neo A wire with all of these really fancy augments. We still haven't converted our Neo J katana into a Neo A weapon. So this is the final step and the most important step. You're simply going to talk to the item lab enhancement. You're going to go to multi-weapons over here, and it's going to ask you your base item selection. This is very, very important that you select the Neo A weapon. All right. So once you selected your Neo A weapon, next up it's going to ask for your material. The material is where you select the Neo J weapon, so whatever weapon you decided that you want to use. So in my case, the katana. You're going to click yes, and then it's going to say, it's going to be combining these weapons together. Are you sure? And again, you're going to say yes. Once that's complete, it'll say multi-weapon Neo A wire complete. You're going to end it. And once you open up your inventory, you're going to notice that, hey, your katana is now gone. However, the thing is, your katana or whatever weapon you multi-weaponed with is now combined with your Neo A weapon. So in my case, my wired lances are now combined with my katana. So I can actually equip this weapon even though I am not playing the hunter subclass or main class. So wired lances are a hunter weapon. However, because I'm multi-weaponed with a katana, which is a braver weapon, I am still able to equip the weapon, as you can see here. Boom and boom. However, what you need to do is you will need to change the actual abilities. So as you can see over here, I have two pages. I have the wired lance abilities over here, and I have the katana abilities over here. You'll need to change your weapon palette to all the katana abilities. So that's my normal attack. Over here, I will have my silver leaf storm, and voila, my weapon palette is now complete. You can see that I don't actually have any wired lance abilities here because, well, I can't actually use any of the wired lance photon arts because I don't have the hunter subclass or main class. Now, the only downside of doing this is you're actually not going to see a katana on your back because, as you can see, you know, the main weapon is the Neo wires. So when you're running around town, you're going to see the Neo wires. But there is a very easy fix for this. All you need to do is simply walk into an exploration zone or a combat zone where you can auto attack. So as you can see here, we are now in a regular zone, and just do a normal attack and it will switch into your katana. So you can see over here that even though I do have my Neo Astron weapons equipped, you can see it's the Neo Astron weapon, but because I did a normal attack, which is the katana variant, it switches back to my weapon camo, and when I go back into town, you're going to see that it stays as the katana weapon camo, and it does not switch back into the wired lances, so that is also very, very nice. Now, another reason why I decided to pull the trigger here is because, of course, it's got the Fix of Fatale 1, so as you can see, you know, I've got the extra 5% critical hit rate, which is very nice, but wired lances are actually really good with katanas. And the reason for this is because you can actually put the wired lance abilities in your sub palette over here. So you can see the weapon action. So I've put this in over here. What you can do is you can just lock onto it, get into range, and boom, weapon action, bam. You see, it's a gap closer. You just simply fly towards the enemy, and you can take advantage of the wired lance's mobility while still using your katana. And on top of that, it's got the Fix of Fatale 1, and I didn't have to farm and get really lucky to try to get a Fix of Fatale 1 katana, simply because I multi-weaponed it, and boom, my katana now has the exact same stats as a Neo Astron weapon, which is super nice. But now, of course, I know not everyone has got a Neo wired lances just sitting around with high-level fixas. Maybe the high-level fixa you have is a twin machine gun or some other weapon that you'll never ever use. It's still perfectly fine to multi-weapon them together and just never use the main weapon. So let's say, for example, you got a Fixa Fatale level 5 Neo rifle, and you know, maybe you play Braver, so there's absolutely no reason for you to ever use a rifle since you can't even blight round with Braver main class anyway, right? So it's perfectly fine to just multi-weapon it with a katana, put all the melee augments or range augments onto the rifle, and just never ever use the rifle and only use the katana. That's perfectly fine as well. However, this is of course assuming that you don't take advantage of the multi-weapons because, you know, katana is pretty self-contained. It pretty much covers all its weaknesses, so it doesn't really need a multi-weapon per se. However, there are weapons and classes out there that really do depend on multi-weapons. So if you really depend on having a multi-weapon in order to just function properly, well, unfortunately, this strategy might not be the best thing for you. However, if you like to stick with one weapon and you use one weapon only and you don't really care about multi-weapons, this is a really easy way to get a high-level fixa on a weapon that you actually want to use, and that way you don't waste the high-level fixa that you finally got from Dark Falls Aegis, but it's just not the right weapon. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!